All right, 5 things to make your connection card stand up and dance. Coming up here on the Better Sundays podcast at reachkeep.com. Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. Focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. Howdy. Mike Holmes here in studio. This is my mobile studio called La Quinta. I have several of them around America. Anyway, good to have you here. I am talking today about connection cards again. One of the most important things you can do as a church is use this powerful technique. And we've got some great training on connection cards, and we are here to help you do that. If you want to get the download that we have, it's at reachkeep.com/connection, and you can get a download, about a 10-page document, help you know how to do these. If you want to learn about the workshop that is coming up here real soon, you can go to reachkeep.com/workshop and sign up for our connection card workshop, and we will get you lined up, and you'll know everything you need to know and listen to this podcast and this YouTube video at the very same time. So anyway, good to have you here. I am on the road, been doing quite a bit of online or on the road training rather than online training. Been in a church every night for about the last 7 or 8 days. It's been exhilarating and exhausting, but I've been having a good time. And every one of these places, I talk to them about the magic of connection cards and some of the great things you can do with them. And so we are going to reference those. You can go back to the previous podcast on here, 3 ways for connection card newbies, or 3 mistakes connection card newbies make. Had a lot of people watch that one already. This one is 5 ways to make them stand up and dance. And then next week we're going to be giving you one more on connection cards specifically. And this is the one most important, I'm not sure most important is the right way, but the best technique to get your connection cards to be effective and do what you want them to do and really help you grow your church. You get to know your church and build unity in your church. They do all sorts of things. It is not just a visitor card. It is not just a way to get a prayer request on a piece of paper. It is a powerful tool in and of itself. So I want to give you some notes that I have written on the 5 ways to make connection cards kind of just what I call stand up and dance. Now, I know some of you are not the stand up and dance kind of people, okay, and neither am I, all right, but we're talking about putting the zip, the zowie, the zing into your connection cards, that type of thing. Make this whole system just really go wow, where it really works. It's something that you are totally into and you couldn't live without it. So here are the 5 things that I want to give you to make it just really get up and go. The first one is that the connection cards are printed fresh every week. Every week of the existence of our church, we have printed fresh connection cards. We don't use a boilerplate card. We don't use a card that was printed by, someone else that doesn't know about our church. We print our own cards every week. Now, on one side of the card, it will have the data and sort of like put your name and info and that kind of stuff. We keep that side pretty much static. The flip side of the card, though, has the date, it has prayer requests, and a bunch of other things, and that is different every single week. Does that take some work? Absolutely. Okay, it is not about efficiency. I talked to a guy the other day that had printed like 5,000 connection cards, and it's like, that's not the way they work. We're not looking for sharp. We're not looking for classy. We're not looking for anything like that. We're looking for relevant. Okay, and that is the difference. It would be like if someone walked up after church or during church or whenever and handed you a little sticky note with a special prayer request on it, and it said, "Pastor, could you please pray for this, a very specific request I have." That would be a precious little piece of paper because it's relevant. Doesn't matter if it's a yellow sticky or a blue sticky or a 3x5 card or something tore off of a notepad. It had something relevant. If you are having a big offering, I was at a church where they were totaling up the offering for their Faith Promise missions, and it's like, ooh, they're all excited and all that. They did an offering, and then the guys counted it, and the pastor's kind of waiting, and the guy comes out with the piece of paper. Okay, what's important about the paper is relevance, not that it's glossy, not that it's cardstock, not that it's fancy, not that it's been pre-printed, but it's relevant, and that's what connections cards are. They are printed fresh every week. Now, you can do this on a simple laser printer or any kind of printer that you have, at the Connection Card workshop, we're going to talk about how exactly to do that a little bit more. But we print them. The one side of them is just the regular data. Keep that there, and you save that in your word processor. The other side, printed fresh every week. Lots of different things you can put on there. You'll learn some of that if you continue to watch. So that's how you make it stand up and dance. Print those things fresh. Second one is here that I wrote down, is that they are passionately promoted. They are like okay, here's your card. You don't just like it. Let me rephrase that here. It's got to be like you can't be bored with them. You can't go, oh yeah, don't forget your card, fill your stuff out, see you later. It's like you got to be passionate. Pastor, the leader needs to do this, and we'll get into that in just a second. But this is the idea that you are excited about what is going on that card. It is a powerful, powerful tool, and you know it's a powerful tool. You want to get that powerful tool into the hands of people. You want to get it back to your people so you can pray, you can sign up their volunteers, you can find out what's going on in your congregation, all sorts of great things, and you are passionate about it, and it is promoted passionately. Now, what this means is that during the service, it is not just some leftover announcement, don't forget the deacons meeting a week from Thursday. This is a passionate thing, and we have the leaders make sure that they're pulling the card out and they're saying, hey folks, grab your card, pull it out. There's some important stuff we need to know. Take a look at your card, boom, 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 and you are excited about it, that you have got your passion and your heart into it, because as we mentioned in the last podcast, that this is a life changer. This is the lifeblood. This is the soul connection to your people. I love to promote the cards, okay? Cards are about how we are applying our message, how we're applying our Christianity, what we're doing about what we believe. It's a powerful, powerful thing. Don't leave it to somebody else, Pastor. If you're the one, make sure you get behind it. Which takes me to the next one, which is what I call the Senior Leadership Connection. You, as the senior leader, need to be passionate about this. Don't leave it to somebody else. In fact, many times what I like to do is I like to have my cards, and I like to actually go hand them out to my people in the congregation as they're coming in and sitting down and saying, hey, I got something for you. There's going to be a couple questions at the end of the sermon I want you to look at. There's a place for you to put prayer requests. If you could share your prayer requests right here, I would really appreciate that. And you have them share. But you as a senior leader, you're passionate. You hand the thing out. You are the one that does the promotion of it. You are the one that talks about it in your sermon. Even in your sermon, you can say, and don't forget on your prayer card, your connection card, that there's a place for prayer requests, and we are supposed to let our requests be made known unto God, and I am going to be praying for you, and I want you to turn in your card, okay? And so make sure that you share with me the details of that prayer request so that we can pray effectively for you here at the church. So you passionately promote that, or at the end of the service, you say, now I want you to take your card out because I have something very powerful that I want you to do. I'm going to be praying for you, and I want to pray specifically. I have just spoken to you about not having fears and fear not and all that. And so what I want you to do is I want you to fill in the blank there. And the blank that I have says, Pastor, please pray for me. I have fears in the following area, and there's a blank. And I would like for you to write down something that is giving you fear. It might be an aging issue. It might be a health issue. It might be a relationship issue. It might be an economy issue. It might be a money issue. It might be, is something that is going on in your life that we just don't know anything about. But we love you and we want to pray for you. So please write that down in that place where it says, Pastor, please pray for me. I have a fear concerning, and that blank, share that with you. You see what I'm doing here? This is passionate, leadership-oriented stuff, and this will make your connection cards stand up and dance and make them really have the zip, zing, zowie and all that. Also, on the connection card, one of the things that the leadership can do is promote what we call the next step. Okay, the next step. In other words, this is something, I will read Genesis chapter 12. I will, memorize Psalm 119, verse 18, whatever. You have them have a next step on there as well, which takes me to the fourth thing that makes your connection cards have zip, zing, and zowie, okay? And that is if you have fresh volunteer opportunities on your card every week. Not only the fresh responses like I will read this verse based on the sermon you just said, or I will do this particular spiritual response, but you would have some boxes in there that say I will make plans to attend the men's prayer breakfast next Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. I will make plans to meet with the ladies to help decorate the church for the 4th of July picnic event that we're doing, or whatever. You create fresh volunteer opportunities. Now, I spoke at a church today and I said this statement. I said, in order to reach young families, we often need to do young family things. There is something that young families like to do that you probably don't think they like to do. You think they probably are, it's not something that you're really used to them wanting to do, but young families with young children and age-appropriate stuff, they want to make sure that their kids are involved in volunteer activities. If their kids are real little, they're not quite there, but their kids are in upper elementary, middle school, they want their kids to do things for other people and serve. And you and I as a local church, we have so much work that needs to be done. And much of it doesn't need to be done by necessarily a spiritual qualified person. It can be done by anybody that's got hands and eyeballs and a back and some muscles. We have a food bank ministry, for example. We need to move a whole bunch of boxes from here to there. So you would say, I will bring my child, and on Tuesday we will help move the 2 pallets of water bottles that were donated down to the front of the church so we can give them out for the big event. And you put them on pallets, jacks, or you put them on little dollies and move them around. But parents want their kids to do stuff, so you put on your connection card, you put fresh volunteer activities. Make sure that your connection card every Sunday has a fresh volunteer activity, not just like I will pray for America, or I will, I will pray for the pastor, or whatever. Those are great things, and you can have those boxes there too. But these would be specific things where people would come and do something. I will help on Saturday morning with the lawn care renovation at the church. I will come, and I will come on next Sunday morning. I will bring a dozen cookies for the such and such a program, where they're specifically doing something, and you put those on there and you get that stuff all totaled up, which takes me to my last one, and this is what I call the immediate follow-up, okay? It is where people are, so they say, I will bring a dozen cookies, and they have that on their card, okay? And sorry for using a fake card here. I got one over my briefcase, but I forgot to grab it. This is my hotel receipt, okay? But it's about that size, what the card is. So I will bring a dozen cookies. All right, so that's the volunteer thing. What you want is immediate follow-up as much as possible on every single thing that people sign up for. So what we do, we'll talk about this a little bit more in detail on our upcoming workshop that you can get to at reachkeep.com/workshop. Okay, so make sure you go there. Once you get things on the card, you want to have those informations tallied up and totaled as soon as possible and respond as quickly as possible. So if a person volunteers to bring cookies, okay, you are going to shoot them a text that afternoon that says, thank you so much for volunteering to bring the cookies. Make sure you put them on a platter and cover them with foil, or whatever the rule would be. If someone says, I am going to be at the volunteer thing on Saturday, you would tally up all the people that want to be involved. You'd get that on a piece of paper, and you would shoot them all an email that says, thank you so much for volunteering to come on Saturday morning to help with the renovation project at the church. Don't forget to bring gloves and bring some safety glasses and a dust mask, because we're going to be tearing some things out. So you would send them something. You'd communicate with them, and you would do that immediately, as soon as you can. We try to, on connection cards with visitors, we try to connect with them on email within 24 hours. Okay, that's pretty easy. Usually get that done. I like to have it done that afternoon, which means not efficiency, but effectiveness. You don't go home, take a nap, whatever, on Sunday afternoon. You take time and tally all this stuff up. Get somebody who's good at organization. They tally everything up. They have all the emails there. And after church, boom, 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 everybody gets a list of what needs to be done, and people are responding to that. And by the way, the construction project next Saturday, you don't have to respond to that. That can be, Joe Schmo or whatever, who does your construction stuff. He can shoot them an email and tell them about bringing a dust mask and safety glasses in their gloves. So you don't have to do all that. If you do all these things, and I'll go through them again real quickly, you print things freshly, okay? Don't worry about efficiency. You passionately promote those things. You have fresh volunteer opportunities. You have that senior leadership connection, and then you do immediate follow-up. Your connection card system will work like a dream, okay? It will be awesome. It's an amazing thing. And if we don't have cards, or if they're late or something, we've had people like, where's my card? Okay? They want their card. They want to write. They want feedback. They want to get their prayer requests there. They want to get connected with their church. They want to find out what's going on. They want to sign up for things to do during the week. That means you got to think about these things ahead of time, signing up ahead of time, all that stuff that you're going to have them do. So we will be working more on this over next week. So we're going to give you the one single tip that is probably the best thing ever to get good connection going with a connection card. And then at the workshop, which is coming up soon, you can go to workshop. Say that again, reachkeep.com, workshop. There we go, reachkeep.com/workshop, and there you can sign up and get yourself educated a whole bunch. And if you sign up for the workshop but are not able to make it, we will send a replay to you and make sure that you get it. But you have to sign up. We don't know who to send the replay to if you don't do that. So anyway, Mike here, reachkeep.com. Make sure you go to reachkeep.com connection, the word connection, and get your guide, and then reachkeep.com/workshop, and that will get you signed up for the workshop, and we will get you going on these things. Thanks so much. Thanks for putting up with all my errors. I've been on the road for a long time, and I'm getting kind of goofy. I'm ready to head for home. We'll be soon. So God bless you guys. You take care and have a wonderful time, and we will see you next time here at the Better Sundays podcast at reachkeep.com.